Hey Vixen, can you talk about what's going on with the energy when somebody you love betrays you and then moves like you never mattered? Like, why does it feel like they replaced me so easily when I know what I brought to the table? Here's the other one. Vixen, what does it mean spiritually when a coworker disses you at lunch in front of people, but then tries to act normal after? Why do people try to embarrass you when they secretly know your light makes them uncomfortable? Next one. Can you please speak on dating energy right now? Because I just started getting to know someone and they did me cold from jump. How do you not take it personal when somebody treats you like you were disposable before they even really got to know you? Oh my God. I kind of wanted to dive a little bit deeper. Let me tell you something real quick. Being replaced doesn't mean that you're replaceable. Sometimes people don't replace you because they found better. Sometimes people replace you because they found easier to control, easier to manipulate, easier to use, easier to fit in the version of life they were never mature enough to build with you. It's so funny. I seen a quote on TikTok yesterday, and it said, some people don't support who they are intimidated by. Some people don't support who they are intimidated by. I'm just gonna leave that right there. I'm just gonna leave it right there. Straight up. What do you guys think about that? Like, for real. I'm just saying. And I felt that one. I need you to stop letting somebody's inability to value you convince you that you lost value. All right? Welcome back to Latisha TV Motivational Talks. Because we don't just talk about the pain, we just learn how to pull power from it, okay? And from all of your guys' DMs, I do read your DMs. Sometimes I don't respond because I want to create content out of it, because hundreds or thousands of people may have the same question just like you. You are not alone. We are all one collective consciousness here. So this topic really quick that I'm going to slide in this little segment might hit a little bit deep, okay? Being removed, being replaced, being discarded, or just being pushed to the side by somebody you really saw some sort of future with, whether it was a situationship, a business ship, a partnership, a love ship, a friendship, whatever ship you're sailing, okay? Let's be honest. Sometimes that kind of pain hits a little bit different, because it's not just losing the person, it's really losing the version of the life you thought was coming through. That page, that chapter, that new book that you thought was coming through. The plans, the conversations, the promises, the little things that you held onto because you thought they meant something. You thought it was something. You thought something was brewing, stewing, moving, cooking in the kitchen, okay? And then one day, they move differently. They act cold as ice. They disappear emotionally or physically. They put somebody else in place of you that you thought may have been your spot, okay? And now you could be sitting there asking yourself, was I not enough? What the fuck happened? Baby, listen to me real quick. I want you to know that you are enough. You may have just been too real for somebody who needed something temporary. Being replaced feels personal, right? It's because your heart was involved. You weren't just casually attached. You probably cared. You probably invested your time, energy, money, blood, sweat, tears. You believed. You showed up with that kind of love that, you had intention behind it. You were probably optimistic. You probably kept it a whole buck. You probably were being as transparent as could be. And perception is everything. So when someone walks away and makes it look easy, I bet it made you question everything about yourself. You probably question your looks. You probably question your worth. You probably question your personality. You probably questioned your loyalty, your softness, your timing, your ability to even be chosen. But I need you to understand this, okay? And I hope you see this video, you guys, the questions that I'm answering for you. I don't want to tag you because that'll make you obvious. I need you to understand this. People do not always choose what is valuable. Sometimes they choose what feeds their goddamn ego. Sometimes they choose what benefits them. Sometimes they choose what requires less accountability. Sometimes they choose the person who doesn't challenge them to grow. And sometimes they choose somebody else because that person fits the agenda they had all along. I wish I can drop my mic right now. And I want you to know that doesn't mean that you were lacking. That means you were not convenient for the role they wanted you to play. I feel like I'm preaching over here. Just remember, you were not removed because you had no value. Okay. You may have been removed because you actually had standards and morals and values and beliefs. You may have been removed because your spirit started noticing things that your heart was trying to ignore at the time. You may have been removed because you were becoming too aware, too strong, too honest, too transparent, too difficult to keep any confusion around the situation. You were bringing maybe too much clarity. Okay. Let me say this with love. I feel like I'm going to burp. There we go. Burps are confirmation for me. Some people don't just want someone in their life, whether it's a business partner, a love ship, a deep connection, a best friendship, whatever it is. Some people don't want that. Do you know what they want? Do you know what they want? They want all access and all attention. Why? Because attention is currency. Attention is currency. Access to your energy is what they want. They want access to your comfort, access to your body, access to your support, access to your loyalty, access to the benefits of you without the responsibility of honoring you. So when you start needing clarity, consistency, honesty, and respect, and suddenly you become too much, suddenly they get confused, suddenly they got to pull back and think about it. No, you are not too much. You were just asking maybe the wrong person to meet you at a level they never planned on reaching. Okay. And to all the people that message me, yeah, I know it hurts seeing somebody, or it's, it causes confusion. I know it hurts when somebody moves on like you're nothing. If you haven't healed, and you really cared about them, it may hurt. Some of you guys may not give a fuck, but to some it may hurt. If you guys are messaging me, I'm pretty sure you feel something. So don't let the speed of their replacement make you question the depth of your presence. Some people don't heal. They distract. Some people don't even reflect. They reload. Some people don't even fucking grieve what they lost because they never fully valued it while they had it. But that doesn't mean that you were forgettable. You know what that really means? If you think about it, it means they were avoiding the mirror. You could be the mirror, okay? And you're just being redirected. Think about it like that. You're being redirected, okay? Because when a door closes, it may felt like rejection, but you might have been, it might have looked like protection wearing a painful disguise. How about that? Think about that. Because sometimes, you guys, life has to really remove you from places where you were comfortable, places that you loved, places where your love was kind of just being mishandled before your self-worth gets completely drained. Let me tell you, okay? And some of you guys still wonder, you might ponder, you might have questions, you might miss them, but that doesn't make you weak. That's perfectly fine. We're all having a human experience on this 3D airplane, right? You can miss somebody and still know that they were not good for you. It's fine. You can love somebody still and still accept that they didn't love you properly. That's fine. You can grieve the future that you imagined. That's fine. And still choose not to beg for a place in somebody else's life. Let me tell you this. Healing is, how do I say this? Healing is finally admitting, yes, it hurt me, but it will not define me. When you can say those words, you're on to your start of moving forward. So to the people that answered, or DM'd me, I'm answering your question. And also, if you're watching this and you feel it, if you were ever replaced, discarded, ghosted, abandoned, or people made you feel like you were just easy to forget, hear me clearly. You are not replaceable. You are not disposable. You are not hard to love. You are just in the hands of somebody who did not have the capacity to hold something real. And now your job is not to prove your worth to them. Your job is to return to yourself. Pour back into you. Transmute your energy. Remember who you were before they even made you question that shit. Okay? And understand this too. The right people don't make you compete for a motherfucking position that you already earned through being loyal, by showing up for yourself, being optimistic, loving, funny, intelligent, whatever it is that you may bring. Okay. They recognize you clearly. They respected you. Okay. They don't play with the parts of you that took years to heal. So let them go. Let it go. Let it burn. Like Usher. Let it burn. Straight up, for real. And I'm not saying this not because it didn't matter, but because you matter more. This is your movie. You are the main character in your motherfucking movie, and everybody else is just an extra. Hello. Can we pull the band together? Should we play the saxophone? I mean, if this message spoke to you, I want you to comment down below, I was not replaceable. And if you are in that season of healing, rebuilding, remembering who you are, just make sure that you come first. All right? And make sure you come over here too, because this is what we do. We don't chase closure from people who benefited off us wasting our energy. Okay, we heal over here, we rise over here, and we come back to home to ourselves. Period, poo. Okay, I had to throw that little side note in. Honey. But I appreciate all your guys' DMs. I do look at them. I just take some time. But if you want a faster response, please join my Northland University school. If you DM there, you can even send voice clips, which is cool. And I respond back with voice clips. So you actually have more access to me that way. Okay.